Welcome to this IELTS Listening Practice Test, brought to you by Spinta, your partner in English exam success. This test simulates the real IELTS listening experience with authentic question types, timing, and difficulty levels you'll encounter on exam day. You'll hear the audio only once, just like in the actual test, so stay focused and keep your pencil ready. Remember to read the questions carefully during the preparation time and transfer your answers accurately. This practice will help you build confidence, improve your listening skills, and familiarize yourself with the IELTS format.
Part 1. Now look at Part 1. You will hear a conversation between a hotel receptionist and a customer booking a room. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 5.
Good morning, Rosewood Hotel. How may I help you?
Good morning. I'd like to book a room, please.
Certainly. May I take your name first?
Yes, it's Peter Collins. That's Collins, spelled Collins.
Thank you, Mr. Collins. And your phone number, please?
It's 07700 900 456.
Got it. And what type of room would you like, Mr. Collins? We have singles, doubles, and suites.
A double room, please. And ideally with a garden view if possible.
A double room with a garden view. Noted. And for what date would you like to check in?
The 15th of July.
The 15th of July. And how many nights will you be staying?
Just 3 nights, please.
All right. So that's a double room with a garden view for 3 nights, checking in on the 15th of July. The total cost will be £360. How would you like to pay?
By card, please.
Excellent. And do you have any special requests, Mr. Collins?
Yes, actually. Would it be possible to get an early check-in? I'm arriving quite early, around 10 a.m.
Early check-in? We can certainly arrange that, subject to room availability. I'll make a note of it. Anything else?
Just one more thing. Could I get extra towels in the room, please?
Extra towels? No problem at all. And finally, for your confirmation, could you please provide your email address?
Yes, it's peter.collins@mail.com. That's mail.com.
Perfect. So that's peter.collins@mail.com. Your booking is now confirmed, Mr. Collins. You will receive an email shortly with all the details. We look forward to welcoming you on the 15th of July.
Thank you very much.
Part 2. Now look at Part 2. You will hear a museum guide giving an orientation, talk to a group of visitors. First, you have some time to look at questions 11 to 13.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the City Museum. My name is Mark, and I'll be your guide today, providing a brief orientation to help you make the most of your visit. Our aim is to ensure you have a pleasant and informative experience exploring our diverse collections. First, let's go over some practical information. The museum is open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. daily, except Mondays. The cafe, located on the first floor, serves refreshments and light meals, and it closes at 4 p.m. so make sure to grab a bite before then if you're planning to stay late. For your convenience, we have a cloakroom near the main entrance, where you can leave large bags, coats, and umbrellas. We highly recommend using it, as large items are not permitted in the exhibition areas to ensure the safety of our exhibits and other visitors. Photography is generally allowed throughout the museum, but please, no flash photography, especially in the Ancient Civilizations Gallery, as it can damage delicate artifacts. Now, let's talk about what you can see. On this ground floor you'll find our natural history section, which showcases local wildlife and geological formations. It's a fascinating area, especially for those interested in the region's unique biodiversity. Moving up to the first floor, you'll discover the Science Gallery, with interactive displays that are very popular, especially with children. It's a great place for hands-on learning about physics and technology. Just opposite, you'll find the local history exhibition, detailing the city's past from its foundation to the present day. On the second floor, we have our art collections. The classical art wing features European paintings from the 17th to 19th centuries, while the modern art wing, located at the far end, displays works from the 20th century onwards. Please note that photography is strictly not permitted in the modern art wing due to copyright restrictions. Before you leave, don't forget to visit our main shop, which is conveniently located right next to the exit. You'll find a wide range of souvenirs, books, and educational toys there. We also have a smaller specialized bookshop on the second floor, next to the research library, offering academic texts related to our collections. Looking ahead, next month we're very excited to launch a new art exhibition featuring contemporary Australian artists. Details will be available on our website, so do check that out. For those interested in workshops or lectures, you can find a full schedule on our website too, or at the information desk in the lobby. Finally, for visitors with mobility issues, we have elevators to all floors, and wheelchairs are available free of charge at the information desk. Just ask any member of staff if you need assistance. Enjoy your visit.
Part 3. Now look at Part 3. You will hear two students, Emily and David, discussing their group assignment with their tutor, Dr. Green. First, you have some time to look at questions 21 to 23.
Good morning, Emily and David. Come in. How's the group assignment on renewable energy coming along?
Good morning, Dr. Green. Thanks for seeing us. We've made some progress, but we had a bit of a challenge with the initial proposal.
Yes, we initially tried to cover all renewable sources, but it felt a bit overwhelming. The feedback you gave about it being too broad a scope was spot on.
I see. And what have you decided to focus on now?
We've decided to narrow it down to wind energy, specifically offshore wind farms. It allows us to delve deeper into the technological and environmental aspects.
And it's a rapidly developing area, so there's plenty of recent research to draw upon.
Excellent choice. That sounds much more manageable and allows for a more focused analysis. Have you considered what the presentation itself will include?
We're planning to discuss the technology, the benefits, and the challenges. David is looking into the environmental impact, and I'm focusing on the economic and policy implications.
Yes, and we've both started gathering data for the visual aids. We want to make sure they're clear and engaging.
Good. Visuals are key. And remember what we discussed about adding a strong analytical component. A cost-benefit analysis of offshore wind versus traditional energy sources would be a great addition to your presentation.
Oh, that's a good idea. We hadn't thought of that in detail. So I'm researching policy implications, and I'm also drafting the introduction to set the scene.
And I'm responsible for analyzing the environmental impact, including noise pollution and effects on marine life.
Perfect. And for the visuals, both of you should collaborate to ensure consistency and impact. So you're both developing visual aids then?
That's right, we're sharing that responsibility.
Excellent. Now, a few tips for your presentation. Make sure your visual content is really strong. Use clear charts and images, not just text. It makes the presentation much more engaging.
Okay, we'll keep that in mind.
And for your conclusion, ensure you summarize your main points clearly, but also think about proposing some future recommendations based on your findings. That shows critical thinking.
Future recommendations. Got it. That's a valuable point.
And finally, practice your timing. It's crucial not to run over or under the allotted time. Practice timing each section to ensure a smooth delivery.
We'll definitely do that. Thanks, Dr. Green. This has been really helpful.
You're welcome. Keep up the good work, and I look forward to seeing your presentation.
Part 4. Now look at Part 4. You will hear a lecture on the urban heat island effect. First, you have some time to look at questions 31 to 40.
Good morning, everyone. Today, we're going to delve into a fascinating and increasingly relevant environmental phenomenon, the urban heat island or UHI effect. This is a phenomenon where urban areas are significantly warmer than their surrounding rural areas, often by several degrees Celsius. This temperature difference is most noticeable at night and during hot summer months. So what causes this heat island effect? The primary cause is the replacement of natural landscapes with impervious materials like asphalt and concrete. These materials, commonly used in roads, buildings, and other infrastructure, absorb and store solar radiation far more effectively than natural surfaces like soil or vegetation. Furthermore, many urban surfaces, especially roofs and pavements, are dark in color, which means they absorb even more solar radiation rather than reflecting it. This contributes significantly to the heat accumulation. Another major factor is the reduced vegetation in cities. Trees and plants naturally cool the environment through a process called evapotranspiration. This is when water evaporates from leaves, which cools the surrounding air. With fewer green spaces, this natural cooling mechanism is greatly diminished. Think about how much cooler it feels under a large tree compared to a concrete square. Finally, anthropogenic heat sources play a role. Heat is generated from human activities, such as industrial processes, vehicles, and air conditioning units. The exhaust from these sources directly contributes to the overall temperature of the urban atmosphere. The impacts of UHI are significant. One immediate consequence is an increased energy demand for cooling buildings, leading to higher electricity consumption and, often, increased greenhouse gas emissions from power plants. It can also worsen air quality, as higher temperatures can speed up the formation of ground-level ozone, a harmful air pollutant often referred to as smog. So, what can be done to mitigate the UHI effect? Various strategies are being explored and implemented. One effective approach is the use of cool roofs and green roofs. Cool roofs are designed to reflect more sunlight and absorb less heat, often by using light-colored or specially coated materials with high albedo, which is the measure of how much solar radiation a surface reflects. Green roofs, on the other hand, are partially or completely covered with vegetation, which provides natural cooling through evapotranspiration and offers insulation. Another crucial strategy is increasing urban tree cover. Planting more trees and creating parks provides shade, cools the air through evapotranspiration, and also helps to improve air quality and biodiversity. Many cities are now implementing ambitious urban forestry programs. Finally, the use of cool pavements is gaining traction. Traditional dark pavements absorb a lot of heat, but new materials and technologies are being developed to create pavements that are more reflective or permeable, allowing water to infiltrate and cool the surface. Some approaches even involve adding a reflective coating to existing pavements. By combining these strategies, urban planners and policymakers can work towards creating more sustainable and livable cities, reducing the impact of the urban heat island effect, and improving the well-being of urban populations. Thank you.
And pencils down, you've survived another IELTS listening marathon. If your brain feels like it just ran a mental obstacle course, congratulations. That means you're doing it right. Want to torture yourself with more tests? We mean enhance your skills? Head to Spinta.org. That's Spinta.org, where we've got reading, writing, speaking practice, and vocabulary games that are actually fun. Yes, fun and IELTS in the same sentence. We're rebels like that. Thanks for listening with Spinta. Now go treat yourself to something nice. You've earned it. Spinta. Push forward. Achieve more.